I chose materialism as my research topic out of ignorance and lack of understanding on how in depth the topic really was. Although there were other topics to choose from that I was more familiar with, I was intrigued by the spiritual aspect and my decision was made. In social science and common parlance, the term materialism refers to how important material goods are to a person's life, with the implication that materialistic people have an excessive concern for material objects. Goldsmith Clark article, Materialism, Status, Consumption, and Consumer Independence. In doing my research, I found that there were almost 400 peer reviewed articles. However, not one of them was quite the same, and only a couple had a spiritual aspect. The article by Terry Nichols Clark is Materialism Rising in America, focused on whether or not Americans were becoming more materialistic, with the emphasis on young adults. The article that really hit home for me and gave me reason to pause and self reflect was the article by P. Chu titled Addictive Behavior in Relationship to the Happy Farm Facebook Application. This article showed a correlation between materialism and the amount of time spent by users playing the addictive game Happy Farm on Facebook. I was left questioning whether or not I was a materialist due to my addiction to the game, Marketland, which is also on Facebook, and the amount of time and money I've invested and spent on this game. I will challenge myself to see if I can receive the same satisfaction from this game if I don't spend my personal money and only spend the virtual money earned playing the game. The article, No Moral Qualms About Transactional Sex, Materialism and Objectification by Chunky, which explored the psychological mechanism underlining the exchanging of sex for tangible benefits such as drugs, money, and career opportunities, that is, transactional sex. I found this article to be of great interest because I have seen this process at work. I never looked at transactional sex as being a temporary fix with dire consequences. In retrospect, I can see the correlation. I can remember the strawberries selling their bodies for drugs. I now wonder if for some it's like a high, a one-time fix, or do they become addicted? I can relate to the survival aspect of transactional sex. There was a wealth of information contained in the articles that I viewed. Deckup, Giacalone, and Jerkowitz article, Materialism and Workplace Behavior, Does Wanting More Result in Less?, which looked at relationship between materialism, organizational citizenship behavior, and workplace deviance. The results support the concern that materialistic values lead to negative behavioral consequences, which in turn affect fellow employees and the organization. This research shows how placing a high value on materialism can have a negative outcome on the well-being of an individual, which includes lower levels of happiness, life satisfaction, and mental and physical health. It also discusses how organizations use materialism to increase productivity and made me consider the impact of employee incentives like yearly bonuses, gift cards, and rewards based solely on productivity. It also makes me wonder about the impact of employee morale and cohesiveness. Overall, I will now be more aware of my purchases and the reason for my purchases. Is it due to impulse, a need for status, or addiction? I will also consider my sister who achieves a bonus each year. And as I reflect on conversations leading up to the time of the receipt of that bonus, I can relate to the pressure, not necessarily relate to the pressure, but I now understand the pressure behind wanting to perform and the irritability with those staff members who are not performing to the level that they feel that they need to perform at, which could negatively impact their bonuses. The stress of just making sure that everybody is on board and or playing according to the requirements to assure that everybody gets their bonuses. And then also finally the frustration of the people who are slacking, but still are able to reap the benefits of the hard work of those who actually put in the work to achieve the bonuses. Overall, this was a very insightful project. It was a lot more involved than I anticipated. However, it's completed, and I am a lot more knowledgeable of materialism, and I will be a lot more mindful in my purchases of material objects and items. Thank you.